So every single day, summer, it's about 5:30 in the morning, Madison, Wisconsin, beautiful lakes, beautiful college, beautiful scenery. And you all know the yellow flashing lights at the intersections before anybody gets up, real nice and early. Maybe it's really late if you're coming home from the bars, you can see them on the street. I was on my moped every morning on the way to work, on the way to practice, seeing those yellow flashing lights. And for whatever reason, that just gave me an insane amount of pride, knowing that I was gonna be there and I was gonna be as consistent as those yellow flashing lights were gonna be at 5:30 in the morning. I was showing up to the weight room, willing to give more than I've ever given in order to accomplish something I haven't accomplished. First day, strength coach looks at me funny. "You good, Alec? You need anything?" "Coach, I'm just here a little early. I'm just trying to give my best today." Say, "All right, it's a little new, but okay." You get those conversations, you get the laughs, you get the jokes, you're putting yourself out there. You're changing. That makes other people uncomfortable. "What's Alec doing?" "Oh, now he's a senior, he's gonna try hard?" "Oh, that'll be cute. That'll work for what? Week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe?" Try 3 months. Showing up every single day and giving your authentic best effort. No excuses, living from the inside out, being the best version of yourself. Not for your teammates, not for your coaches, not for any recognition, but to just see how great you can be. I was willing to bite that bullet. I went through that entire summer, that entire training camp. Yeah, the laughs were funny the first day, the first week. They weren't showing up on the first month. They weren't there on the second month. Those laughs turned into questions. "Hey, Alec, what time do you get in? What are you doing to stretch? How are you getting so much faster?" The consistency, the relentlessness, the approach, the grind, all those hard things that we all have to go through in life. The willingness to do it and be the best version of yourself. So I'm preparing this whole summer, this whole training camp for the first game of the season. We're excited. We're playing Western Kentucky. It's going to be a blowout game. I get a couple catches, a couple end arounds. We're making plays as a team. We win that game. Great, good, thumbs up. After those cupcake games though, we get a tight night game at Iowa, Kinnick Stadium. You know the wave that everybody does? We did the wave down 7 in a trophy game, Big Ten West. Primetime Fox is on, the lights are on, and we're on the ropes. We're ranked top 10 in the country at this point. We've already been on the ropes a couple times. How do you respond? You can't control the circumstances of life, but you can control your response to it. So we get in this huddle. My name gets called. I hit a nice little end around catch over the shoulder, set up Jonathan Taylor touchdown. It's a tie game. We're going into the fourth quarter. There's about 4 minutes left. We have the ball on the 30-yard line. And if we just get a little bit closer to field goal range, we just get one more first down, it's going to be a game winner. Coach dials my number up again. "Hey, we need number 45. They're never going to be thinking this. We're going to do a little end around, a little reverse." Everyone's bought in. Everyone knows that preparation. It's accountable. The team is together. We're in this flow state, in this moment. Kinnick Stadium, game is on the line, trophy is on the line, Big Ten West. We hit that end around. I get around that corner, 30 yards to the house. I got to wave all those Iowa fans home. We'll take the pig with us. Now, those are those moments, right, of the recognition, the accolades. It makes you feel good, right, those results. But what happens the next day? What happens after you make that touchdown? What happens after you make that sale? What happens after you bring that trophy home with you? Got to work the next day. When I went to work the next day, there's a Steelers scout in the meeting room. How does he take notes? Is he going to class? Is he a leader? Is he doing things the right way? All of a sudden he follows us out to practice. How does he practice? What are his habits like? Now, if I wasn't preparing, if I wasn't being the best version of myself in those moments, as soon as somebody starts analyzing, evaluating every step you do, that'd be uncomfortable. But I was cool with it. It's all good. Watch. I'm being the best version of myself. I'm in this flow state. I'm accountable teammate. All this vision, this goal of the NFL, it doesn't add any pressure to me. That's external. Your opinion, your expectations, that's external. I'm living internal. I'm living from the inside out. I've looked myself in the mirror. I've made eye contact. I've committed to this. I'm willing to move forward. Live from the inside out, not the outside in. I'm gonna be the best version of myself. So as these scouts are writing these notes and people are interviewing, you come in and out of meetings, the entire time internally, it was be the best you, be the best you. So touchdowns would happen, wins would happen, losses would happen, adversity of a season, nicks and bruises, ankle injuries, it didn't matter. Those were all external circumstances. It was always about be the best you, be the best you, be the best you. we get to a moment where it's a trophy game. And this is going to be my second piece of what I want you guys to remember. We had a leader on our team named Chris Orr, and he gave the best pregame speeches, the best ones. And there's one that I want to share with you all today. We're about halfway through this meeting. I feel like we could all use some juice. It's like we're in the locker room, about to play Minnesota for the Axe. We've had it 22 straight years. We're at home. Chris Orr locks the locker room door, no cameras. And he says, fellas, there's going to be a fight tonight at Camp Randall Stadium, at our home. There's going to be a fight. Someone comes into your home, they start a fight with you. There's a few different ways you can respond to that situation. If they start fighting physically, right? Hands are thrown, you can maybe throw a couple back, protect yourself. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to break it up, everyone's going to go their own ways, maybe it escalates, whatever. He's like, that's not what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, somebody comes into our house to start a fight with us. We're locking the front door, and they can't leave until we tell them they can leave. You're going to approach this adversity, this mission, this game, this fight that's going to happen. And as a football player, it's physical, but in the world, it can be any sort of altercation, confrontation that happens in your life. Locking the door, committing to yourself. So we're going to be humble savages. What does that mean? Humble, like a servant leader, right? We're going to serve the people around us. I'm going to play fullback for the best possible ability so that Jonathan Taylor can trust me. I'm going to do everything I can to communicate to that offensive line so that they can do their job and they can count on me to do my job. That servant. You're doing things for the people around you. You're uplifting people, but you're also a little bit of a savage. You're also willing to communicate the way you need to, directly. You're able to lead. You're able to be that guy. You're able to execute because of the preparation, because of the work, because of the stairs, because of all of those dark days that you've had to go through. Chris Orr said, let's be a bunch of humble savages tonight. I'm going to translate that from a football term and say, let's be a bunch of servant leaders. Number 2, be a servant leader. Serve those people around you. Give without the intent to receive. Communicate with the people honestly, authentically. When you're learning, man, be humble. Approach it like we can't wait to learn and grow and be better for the people around us. But at that same time, that leadership, that word right there, you got to execute. You got to be that man in the arena. You got to be that woman in the arena. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. That execution, we went out there, we had a lot of energy, we ended up falling short. We lost. Lost the Axe for the first time in 22 years, I want to say. My senior class was the one to lose it. Andrew Van Ginkel and I still talk about it to this day in the NFL, one of the biggest regrets we have. But we put ourselves out there. We gave ourselves the best possible chance to succeed, and that wasn't our time. Which brings me to my third point. You have to be willing to fail. Failure is a minute little, it's a scary word that everyone says, right? Like failure is eternal, it's forever. No, it's not. I could fail up here today on this speech. And you know what? Tomorrow I could shake a hand and try and get better and learn a lesson from it and improve and grow and use it towards that fullest potential. Be the best version of yourself. I can fail on a play. I can miss a block. You know what? I get a little reset button, I get to clap my hands, and the people around me trust that I'm going to give my best effort and intention the very next play. Failure isn't forever, but a lot of people are afraid to fail. And if you can put a formula together, living from that inside out, being that servant leader, maybe a humble savage if you want to use that term, failing isn't forever. You're able to put yourself out there, have the courage, have the self-confidence to put yourself out there, but still be self-critical enough to reflect and analyze and make sure we're moving forward. We end that senior season, and man, I'm really excited to go into the NFL draft. I am the only fullback invited to the NFL Combine, only fullback invited to the Senior Bowl. I'm expected to go to the 5th round. Looking at that signing bonus, I went car shopping with my pops. Looking at the BMWs and Mercedes right down in Appleton, at a whole Champions Row or whatever they call it. I was all over that. Audis, everything. Couldn't wait. It's the end of April. Really excited to be able to go through this process. The draft is here. The same house that I was on my father's shoulders, learning how to love the game of football in Swamico, Wisconsin, that's where we had half the town over. We're willing to, this whole village of Swamico is there to watch the kid from Green Bay have his dreams come true. So excited. We had a big camera right in the corner of our living room, right over there, had a big little red light on it, and as soon as I got that call, you were gonna see me on ESPN. Whole family excited, everyone cheering, jumping around. Man, it was an exciting moment. This is where all the dreams, all this hard work had paid off. This is the moment. This was that dream at the top of the piece of paper that I saw every single day for months on end. It was here. It's a Saturday. We're having people over. Draft coverage starts at 1 o'clock. It's gonna go about 4 hours. We're excited. We got the little pot roast going. We got, all the food, the drinks. Everyone's excited. I'm sitting in the corner of this chair, and I am so nervous I cannot move. The phone's here. The remote is there. I'm just locked into this place. Other people are moving around talking. I am locked in on this TV. I cannot wait to get drafted. Like, this is finally here. I'm not going to miss it. For you guys that may or may not know, the NFL draft, it starts on day 3. It starts in round 4. So round 4 comes and goes. I don't get any calls, but I wasn't really selected to go there anyways. I was ready for round 5 or later. Middle of round 5 pops up and I get a phone call. Orchard Park, New York. I'm like, I have no idea where this is, but I'm answering it. I'm muting this TV. Like, hello? Like, hey, Alec, this is Brian Daboll from the Buffalo Bills. Just wanted to give you a call, let you know we loved you throughout this entire process. We got a couple picks in the 6th round. I'm doing the best I possibly can to move up and get you. If you get this number again from Orchard Park, it's the Buffalo Bills. We want to pick you soon. We're just working through some logistics. Keep your phone on you. I'm like, all right, coach. I just thought this was a call, but okay. I trust you. I'll see you in a little bit. Hang up the phone, turn back the TV. I'm like, guys, I didn't get picked. I thought I got picked. It was just the Bills, whatever. 6th round comes and goes. No more calls. I'm like, okay. I still got the 7th round. There's a lot of picks. We're still going to approach this thing the right way. I'm sitting on this couch for about 3 hours now. I get a call from Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee Titans pick up. Hey, Alec, we loved you in the draft, in this whole process. We're on the table for you, but we might be looking at like a preferred free agent situation. Like, we might not have enough picks. I was like, oh, it's okay. Like, the Bills are going to call me in a little bit. Don't worry about it. And he's like, all right, sounds good. Hang up the phone. 6th round comes, goes. 7th round comes, goes. I didn't get drafted. For 4 hours, I stared there at the TV watching everybody else live out their life, their dreams. And that kid from Green Bay, Wisconsin, that fell in love with the game right in that yard, watching those lights over the trees, that kid got his heart broken. 32 NFL general managers, head coaches said, you're not good enough. We don't want to invest in you. You failed. Thankfully, I get a call from John Gruden, who was with the Oakland Raiders at the time. Rich Bisaccia, who's now the special teams coordinator here at Green Bay, was also on the phone, and they offered me a shot to try out. We're going to give you a shot. I said, that's all I need, coach. It's all good. Appreciate you. As the last pick of the draft was being read, I was able to announce to a room just like this, I know I didn't get drafted, but I got an opportunity to be in the NFL. I'm going to be an Oakland Raider. Everyone cheers. Everyone is excited. Everyone's clapping their hands. It was a really cool moment, like picturesque. I can still see it to this day. My heart's broken. My wife's heart's broken. And a few other people and a few other family members that really knew what that meant. It meant you're an undrafted fullback in the NFL. You're going to get 3 cups of coffee in the NFL, and then they're going to cut you, and you're going to be right back here. You better figure out your plan B. You can't control what happens to you in life, but you can control your response to it, right? So I know these lessons. Live from the inside out. I'm going to be a humble savage. And that third thing was this last commitment that I made right before heading out. I'm not afraid to fail. I wasn't. I just took a shot to the chin from 32 head coaches and general managers, saying basically, you're not good enough. And you know how I internalize that? It's like my birth father telling me, you're not good enough, son. That's how it hit. That's how it hurt. But the willingness to not fail, to dust yourself off and say, you know what? I'm gonna put myself out there. There's this glimmer of an opportunity, this chance. I'm gonna be self-confident enough to be courageous, to run through that thing, run to that opportunity, and do everything I possibly can to make it worth it. And if I fall short, it's all good. I know I gave it my best effort. So now I'm in the NFL, right? I get to fly out to Oakland, Alameda, California, a little bit later for rookie mini camp, staying at the glorious Hampton Inn and Suites for the next 4 months. I know a lot of people are living on the road. You know that continental breakfast, the little waffle iron, that I can smell a Hampton Inn and Suites coffee from a mile away. I know exactly what it smells like. It was glorious. Didn't have a car, wasn't able to go down to Appleton to get my little whip because, I didn't get a signing bonus. That's okay. It didn't matter. What I did was I taped a whole new goal sheet right up on my mirror, just like I did my senior year. I had learned lessons along the way. Some things worked, some things didn't. But I wasn't afraid to fail anymore. I was willing to put myself out there. So when I'm benching and I'm putting as much weight on the bar as possible, and a vet comes over to me and says, Alec, my man, why are you trying so hard? You know you're gonna get cut in 2 months. And I don't have a good answer for him because that's the exact reality that happens to 99% of those guys. So yeah, I laugh it off. But in the back of my head, I know that intentionality, that effort, it's going to pay off one day. The opportunities aren't here now, but I know and I trust and I believe when that opportunity comes, I'll be ready for it. During practices in the offseason, we have 2 fields. Field 1, all the starters, head coach, coordinators, all the 53-man. Field 2, all the backups, the Alec Ingolds of the world, the assistant coaches, all on Field 2, doing the same plays as Field 1. But no one really cares about Field 2. We're just kind of out there. We're just kind of bodies. We're just ready to service the starters during training camp. That's really what it is. But every once in a while, there'd be a wide receiver who would make an insane one-handed catch on Field 2, and it would catch a coach's eye. And he'd be like, ooh, that was sick. Marcel, come on over here. Let's get you on Field 1. And as soon as Marcel would get on Field 1, he'd run the wrong way to block the safety when he was supposed to block the cornerback, and then he'd be back over with me on Field 2. That was the reality of the situation. We're all being evaluated every single day. Made a lot of people uncomfortable. But I was starting to scheme it up now. These scripts that we were getting, I realized we're running the same exact plays on Field 1 as Field 2. So if I understand what the running back's doing, and I understand my job, and we communicate, and I'm working through this, and I'm leading in this small little way, I'm preparing for my opportunity. So for 4 months, I'm grinding. We're not making any mistakes, result-oriented, not afraid to fail, living from the inside out, being that humble savage. 4 months, I never get an opportunity to go over to Field 1. That's all right. We head up to training camp in Napa Valley. Hard Knocks is joining. Antonio Brown is floating in from his hot air balloon in Napa Valley. I showed up in all of my Oakland Raider gear, ready for work, Coach. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. And I get a phone call. Hey, our starting fullback, he just tore his meniscus. He's going to be out for 3 weeks. Are you going to be ready for Field 1 tomorrow? Do I need to get somebody else? That was literally the call to greatness right there. In that moment, I was so excited because I knew all this preparation, all the living from the inside out, all that humble savage, all the sacrificing the fear of failure was for that call right there.